Hey y'all, so my name is Marquita, and I've been on YouTube for a little while, but I used to post just hair videos, no details, just advertising the hairstyles that I was doing. But this was back like maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, around the time I first started my business. So it's been a long time since I've been on here, but I wanted to introduce myself to all the new people here and also the people that's been here and that just haven't heard from me in a long time. Hey guys, I'm back. So I'm hopping on today because I want to tell you guys the testimony on how God blessed me and my children with our new home. Um, he gave me instructions to record this video. And I was supposed to do this like 2 months ago. We closed on our home almost 2 months ago. So it's been about 7 weeks and I kept putting it off. I was just like, oh, my hair is not done. Oh, I look like a bum. Oh, but today I just felt the urgency to get on here and just record no matter how I look or what I have on. So here we go. So I just want to give you guys a backstory, then I'm going to bring you to the present. But let's go back, not too far, but let's go back to like November or December of 2021, right? So me and my boys, we were living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom townhome in a beautiful community, excellent school district. But the townhome was really, really small and we were really outgrowing it. The boys were getting bigger and they were just oversharing the room. It was just tight. It was just really uncomfortable for us. And I was ready to move. The boys have been ready to move, but I was really ready to move. So I reached out to my realtor and I reached out to my tax preparer and I let them know like, hey, this is it. 2022, I'm going to purchase a home. So let me know what I need to do to make sure my paperwork is in order so that I can get this done, right? So they were like, okay, cool. You know, my realtor was like, hey, do you want to do new construction? You want to do a fixer-upper? You want to do something that's been remodeled? And at the time, I was just looking up different things. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. New construction sounded real good, but it sounded kind of far-fetched because it just sounded like it was going to be a lot of money. I don't know why I was thinking that, but whatever. So fast forward maybe like a week later, I wasn't thinking about the house. I wasn't like actively trying to get it together. It wasn't even on my mind. God woke me up out my sleep. Like I just jumped up and I heard his voice so clearly say, don't rush into buying your house. Something big is coming. I cried. I wanted to punch the air. I was just like, God, why? Why do I have to wait? I feel like you punishing me. I work hard. I want a bigger space for me and my children. Why are you making me stay here? But I just kept hearing him say, trust me. So I'm like, okay. I was upset, but I was going to be obedient. I knew I was going to be obedient and not just launch out there and try to purchase a home or move. Throughout that time, throughout 2022, I would see like open visions of like moving boxes around the house. And I'm like, God, I know that you're telling me a move is coming. I just don't know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, right? Fast forward, let's go back. I had to call my realtor and my tax lady back and was like, hey, I'm not going to purchase a home right now. I have to wait to get the okay from God. They understood, whatever, but it was still kind of embarrassing because it's like, I got these people hyped up thinking I'm about to buy this home, and God was like, not today, right? So throughout 2022, I was still obedient. I was miserable in there, but I kept trying to make the best of it. I kept like redecorating, like changing the pillows out on the couch, or, you know, moving furniture around just so it could feel like something new and something fresh, right? So let's fast forward to like November. It was like the end of November, early December of 2022. I was walking around the house and I just kept saying, I want a house by my birthday. Now my birthday is the end of May. I kept saying, I want a house by my birthday. I want a house by my birthday. I'm getting a house by my birthday, right? So one night, early December, like the first week of December, I was on the phone with my friend. And we were talking about something that had nothing to do with homes. And I just bust out and I said, I can't wait until God gives me the okay to buy this house when it's time for me to get this house, because I'm going to save every penny. If it's not a necessity, then I'm not buying it. And she said, why wait? Right? But when she said it, I didn't hear her voice. I heard God speaking through her. And I was like, yeah, why wait? Let's just start now. I was waiting because I was like, okay, I want the okay from God. If it's 5 years from now, I don't want to have my hopes up high, like, oh, I'm saving for a house. I know it don't make sense, but it made sense in my head. So just stay with me. So I was like, man, you know, I know that was God speaking through her. So while we were still on the phone that night, I was going through like my bank statements, trying to see where I could cut costs at. Like I had subscriptions and stuff that I didn't even know I had. I wasn't using them. So I started like deleting that kind of stuff, trying to see where I could save money at. And then I called my realtor that next morning and I told her like, hey, I want to purchase a house by the end of May, early June, but I need to know like a price so that I can like have a goal to start saving towards. She was like, okay, no problem. Do you think you still want to do new construction? I was like, yeah, let's do new construction. But I talked myself out of getting a single family home because I was like, oh, really? I was afraid because I'm thinking this price is going to be crazy. Don't just jump out there, right? So I was like, oh yeah, let's just look at the townhomes. That's not what I wanted. There's nothing wrong with a townhouse, but I kept saying I didn't want to share a wall with anyone, right? So she was like, okay, I'm going to reach out to the lender for that particular builder you were looking at last time. And I was like, okay. So she reached out to him and then she gave me his number. He didn't answer the phone. So she said, hey, he's not answering the phone, so let's set up a meeting just to go look at the different layouts of the townhomes, and you can decide, you know, what you want to get from there. Let's just look and see what they have to offer. So she called the sales consultant with that particular builder, and she was telling us what areas she had things available in or whatever. And she was like, hey, I have this location 10 minutes from where you asked about. We have places available there now. Would you like to take a look at that? So we're like, yes. So this was on a Friday we talked to her. I believe she talked to her Saturday. On Monday, we went out to go look at the layouts for the townhomes. At least we thought we were going to go look at the layouts of the townhomes. So remind you, this is like the second week of December, so it's getting dark early. It was kind of like gloomy out. It was raining, and our appointment was at like 3:30 in the afternoon. So by the time I got there, the sun was going down. I pulled up to the office. My realtor was already there. I walked into the office. They introduced me to the sales consultant, sweet lady, and she had a piece of paper there, and she said, so Marquita, we're going to go take a look at these 3 homes, but I want to hurry up and get you there so that you can see the view in the back before the sun goes down. So I'm looking at this paper and I'm like, those are not townhomes. It was these big, beautiful homes. And I'm like, why is she wasting my time taking me to go look at these big, beautiful homes? And that's going to be out my budget. That's what I was thinking, right? So we go to the first home. It was the largest floor plan in the subdivision. And it was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage. It had an unfinished basement, and it was beautiful. It was towards the end of a pond. It had a pond in the backyard towards the end of it. And when I walked in, I was just like, this is huge. Like, the kitchen was humongous, beautiful kitchen, like the big islands like I like, but it just felt cold. It just felt like it was overwhelmingly big. And I never in a million years thought I would say a house is too big for me. But I didn't feel it when I walked in there. But then in the back of my mind, I'm still like, I can't afford this no way, right? So I didn't bother asking the price or anything like that. I kept asking, okay, so yeah, what about the townhomes? But it was like the sales consultant was going around my questions about townhomes, and I don't even think she realized that she was going around the questions. But anywho, I was like, you know, it's just too big, right? It's just me and the boys, it's too big. So she was like, okay, no worries. Let's walk 2 doors down. I think you'll like this home. It's a 3-bedroom. You have a loft. You have a study. You have an unfinished basement, 2-car garage. And she was like, the most beautiful thing about this home is at the deepest part of the pond. You're right in the middle and you see all the way through. So we walked in, and the feeling that I felt, is like, can't really describe it. But when I walked in, I felt peace. It was just peace. Every room I walked in the house, it was just peace everywhere, right? It was like I was having open visions of family gatherings, my children walking upstairs. I just saw us here. But in my mind, I'm still trying to process all of this, ask questions about townhomes. Like, how does this compare to the townhomes, right? I'm still trying to do all this and process this. And I'm asking God, like, why are you showing me this house? Maybe this is the layout I'm supposed to look at when it's time for me to buy a home, right? Because remind you, I ain't got no money saved. I ain't ready to buy a house right now, right? So it was just an overwhelming sense of peace throughout the house. And I was kind of like taken back by it. So we walked through the house, and she said, yeah, over the weekend, they cut the price down because we don't want to take inventory into the new year. So basically, they brought the price down almost $80,000. So it was $80,000 cheaper than what it just was days before, right? So me and my relative kind of looked at each other. My relative is a believer too. And she, you know, I was telling her what God was telling me about my house, like to wait and all of this. So she was, you know, in agreement with me and, you know, praying for me throughout this process. So we kind of looked at each other. She pulled out her phone, pulled up the calculator and said, how much are the taxes? What's the percentage for taxes in this area? She told her, she did the calculations, and she was like, well, it's in your monthly budget, because I told her I didn't want to go over a certain price a month. So I'm still looking like, okay, but I still can't buy a house right now. So the lady was like, it's one more house I want you to see. You don't have the pond view, but it's a corner lot, huge yard. You're going to love the kitchen. All the women fall in love with the kitchen. And it was beautiful. But I couldn't focus on the house because I was still thinking about that second house that we saw, right? So she said, because you like that second house so much, I really want you to go look at the model just so you can see how furniture looks on the inside of it, just so you can see how it sits in the layout. She said, the model doesn't have as many upgrades as the house that you saw, but I still want you to see how it looks with furniture in there. So we're like, okay. So it's like where are the townhomes? So finally, when we're walking back to the office, I'm like, so are we going to be able to see townhomes? She said, I don't have any townhomes available right now. I'm like, okay, that's why we came out here. We came out here for the townhomes. Where the townhomes at? Whatever. But we went back in the office, so she started pulling out stuff, just showing us the different upgrades that's in the home, yada, yada, yada. Nope, I'm moving too fast. Let's rewind. She took us to the model for that particular layout. And we went in and it was beautiful. Of course, it did not have all the upgrades that second house that we saw had, but it was still beautiful. And it was nice to see how they, decorated or whatever. So one of her coworkers came in and she needed something from us. So she said, you guys take your time, walk around, don't rush, no rush. I'm gonna run to the office and I'll be right back. So me and my relatives walking around and I'm whispering to her like, I can't buy no house right now. This is beautiful, but where's the townhomes, She was like, yeah, this is really, really nice or whatever. So we walked through the house and then we sat at the island in the model. And I whispered to her, I said, it would be nice if they say $500 down, I can get started with the process. She was like, yeah, but they normally require at least $5,000 to $10,000 down, earnest money just to get started. And I was like, yeah, that's dead. Like, I wasn't in a position to go buy a house. That wasn't the plan, right? So we go back to the office and she's showing us the upgrades and stuff like that. And she said, because this construction will be ready in about a month or so, I will allow you to sign the contract for only $500 down. Me and my relative looked at each other because we see God moving in this, right? We look. So we're like, really? She's like, yes, we normally require at least $5,000 down, but the construction, it'll be done in 30 days. So $500 down, we could sign your contract. So we're like, okay. So she's like, I'm going to give you the phone number to the lender or whatever. He's out the office right now, but he'll be back in tomorrow. Give him a call, get the finances rolling, and then Wednesday you could come back in and sign your contract. We walked outside in the parking lot and we was just like, what is God doing? I came in here to look at a layout for townhomes and I walked away with a nice, big, beautiful single family home, right? So everything just started moving fast and I'm like, what is happening here, right? So the next day I called the lender and I'm like, here we go. He was like really dry. He's a numbers guy. So he's like, okay, let's run the numbers and see. Versus the sales consultant is like, yes, this is exciting. We can do this. Yay. So it was a big difference. So I'm like, he's too dry. Here we go. He like, yeah, let's just put the app in and see what the numbers are. So he's like, I'll give you a call back in 30 minutes. That 30 minutes turned into 3 hours. He called back. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, Marquita, it took so long. I got tied up doing some other things. But yeah, everything looks all good. You'll just need a 3.5% down. And we have these promotions going on here where we could give you this percentage or whatever. And we're going to give you these credits towards, the credits was supposed to be $7,500 towards closing. Right? So I'm like, okay. So this is really real, right? The next day, I go to sign the contract with my $500. So now remind y'all, this is all happening so fast. I just said it out loud. I just went to go look at the layouts. I just got pre-approved. And then now it's like I'm signing this contract. So it's like less than a week, all of this is happening. Like really less than a week. Because I had the idea on Thursday. By Monday, I was there. Tuesday, I talked to the finance guy. Wednesday, I signed my contract. So I'm sitting in there signing my contract out. I just bust out crying. Because the boys still didn't know. I wanted to surprise them. I didn't want them to get their hopes up high and then it didn't go through. So I was trying to surprise them. So I just started crying like, they're gonna be so happy. So we signed a contract, and as we're going through the contract or whatever, she said, we got to the part with the closing date. And she said, the lender did make me aware that you still have to file your tax returns and things like that. So we want to give you time to do that. So we're going to push it back to the last day of February. So me and my realtor looking at each other like, really? Come to find out, my realtor was calling them on the back end too, you know, making sure that they, you know, knew that I had to get stuff in order because I was not prepared to purchase a home. So it's just like, I signed this contract. We come to the house. Now, they were still doing construction in here or whatever. And we came to the house. We took pictures outside. You know, I walked through and took videos or whatever because I'm just like, this is about to be my house? Like, exceeded my expectations. Do you hear me? So we start the process. They're requesting documents. I'm getting my taxes filed. Just going. If you've purchased a home before, you know what I'm talking about. This closing process. Ooh, child. It's gonna test every ounce of your salvation, okay? I have never felt so anxious in my life, right? But the whole time, all the roller coasters, the ups and downs, oh, we can't do this. Oh, we can do this. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, we can do this. Oh, you need this. Oh, you don't have this, so we can't do this. All that roller coaster, the up and down, I kept hearing God say, keep packing. So I was taking my time packing because I'm like, I'm not about to pack. And then the last minute, I was looking online. They were saying how last minute people would be ready to close the day before. They tell them, hey, we can't do the deal. So they're homeless. I'm like, that's not going to be my story. I'm going to wait to pack. But I kept hearing God say, trust me, pack. When I tell y'all, I cry so much. Do you know 5 days before the original closing day, this particular lender said, oh, we can't do it. The way that your tax preparer did your Schedule C's, it looks like you have a new business. So there's nothing that we can do. But I'm like, I've been in business for 10 years. Like, she wrote letters, everything. They went into like a special meeting. They said, no, they couldn't do it. This was 5 days before closing. So I'm like, is this really happening, right? Because I had surprised the boys with the house. I brought them here while the construction was going on for Christmas. I surprised them or whatever. So now they know about it. I'm like, what is happening here, right? So the sales consultant, she said, oh, no worries. We're going to get Marquita into her house. We have a backup lender that doesn't mind. They don't mind coloring outside the lines, right? So they deal with special cases and stuff. Me being self-employed, tax returns, all that good stuff, right? So we contact this new lender. They're like, oh, just push the date back 3 weeks. We could get her done. So they start asking for everything except for my blood type and my bra size, okay? I'm like, the first lender didn't even ask for none of this stuff. So I should have known I shouldn't have went through them anyway. But anywho, they asked for everything, but I would get it to them. As stressed out as I was, I would get it to them. I couldn't really focus on nothing else but doing that. So during this time, I'm like hustling, trying to make sure I had a deposit money, the moving money, but God moved, and I was able to have my money with no problem. He definitely, God moved. So I had the money, no problem. They kept pushing the date back. So they were like, oh, like a couple days before closing, they were saying, hey, we can't get a clear to close because that area just had storms and it was declared a disaster area because a tornado went through the city a couple cities over and tore up some stuff. So they said we have to have the appraiser come back out to make sure the house is still in good standing. I'm like, hey, I just drove through that the other day. It's good. But of course, they can't take my word for it. They had to have the appraiser come back through. So they pushed it back again. They didn't have the paperwork ready in time, the certificate from the appraiser in time, so they had to push it back again. So like a few times it got pushed back. So unfortunately, my uncle passed away, and that Monday was his services. We were at the repast at a pizza spot, Home Run and Pizza. And I get the call and they say, hey, Marquita, you're clear to close. Y'all, it was just like a huge weight just came off my shoulder. I was so happy. You know, I was telling my family that I was there. Everybody was excited. It's like, yes. So the next day I closed. I took the boys with me because I wanted them to experience it, because they saw the ups and downs. They saw me being stressed out that time. They've been in the trenches with me, so I wanted them to experience that with me. So we went to closing, and it was so uneventful. You go through all of that to get to the closing table, sign your life away, and then they're like, congratulations, you're a homeowner. And I'm like, that's it? No confetti? No balloons? Like, that's it? But no, it was really, really good. Me and the boys were so, so happy. We came home and, you know, they were just thirsty to be here. They ran through the house. Actually, the oldest took a nap here. So he was like, this room is officially mine. I took a nap here. But just being here, we've been here almost 2 months. I want to say the first month and a half, we would walk past each other in the hallways or, you know, throughout the house, and we'll just look at each other and say, God snapped, didn't he? Like, he really snapped. He literally exceeded my expectations, y'all. I never in a million years thought my first home would be this big, beautiful home. Neighborhood, like the subdivision is so nice. Everybody's friendly. Like, we ride through, everybody's waving, like the little babies on up to the elderly people there. Everybody's waving at you, you know. It's just refreshing. Like, I pull up to this house or just waking up in the morning, I'm like, thank you, God. You really did this for me and my boys. We're so happy. The peace that we've been feeling, well, let me speak for myself. They love it here. But as for me, the peace that I've been feeling is priceless. I literally wake up happy. I was miserable at the old house, and it showed, you know, throughout my life. Like, I was not happy there. But it's like here, I'm so grateful. I'm happy. I'm still like, God, this me? I just be standing here looking around like, wow, this is really me. Never in a million years did I ever think my first home would be like this. But let me remind y'all, he told me, don't rush into buying your house. Something big is coming. Never thought that this was that big thing. I was thinking, oh, we're going to go into a recession. The economy is going to crash. I'm going to be able to get a house for dirt cheap. Something like that. This right here exceeded my expectations, y'all. So I feel like it was a reason why God told me to record this testimony and let you guys know about it, because someone needs to know that if you are obedient to God's instructions and trust him, he will blow your mind. Like, he will exceed your expectations. You hear me? So we in here. We are here. And I'm going to be posting more content. So, you know, just decorating the house. Y'all know I like to cook. Probably put like some cooking videos out here. I just want you guys to get to know me on this level, you know, outside of hair. I like to decorate a little bit. I'm no professional, but I like what I like. And I want to bring you guys into my world so that you guys can, you know, be a part of all things MD. So, ask me any questions you want. Leave them in the comments. I will make sure that I reply as soon as I can. And just basically ending this, I just want to tell you guys again, just trust God and follow his instructions. I promise you, you're going to win every time. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Bye.